Hello there, everybody. This is Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space. Today, I'm gonna try not to cry. I'm coming to you with an announcement video for a very special readathon. And you have probably heard about the death of Jennifer Brooks. And Jennifer Brooks was one of my closest friends here on BookTube. And I think you all know how special she was. She was a spectacular person. She lived a spectacular life, traveling all over the world. She actually finished her long list of classics that she wanted to read. Who does that? I just ask you, who actually reads all the classics they want to read? She inspired me all the time to pick things up, and I think that's true for a lot of her subscribers. I think we do things like we'll be doing for this readathon all the time anyways. We're always reading books that Jenny has interested us in. And that's because she had a really special kind of erudite way of explaining a book, and then by turns being wickedly funny and sassy, and then switching over and being just so humble, all in the course of about a minute. And she was so entertaining to watch. She had so much character, and she had a lot of it's really hard to describe Jenny, but she was spectacular. I think we would all agree with that. So this readathon is in honor of Jenny, and I'm co-hosting this with Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia. Tiffany is one of the first, I think Tiffany was probably the first person I texted when I heard from Pam, Jenny's mom, that Jenny had died. And so the next day, Tiffany and I got together and we sort of started putting this together. It just was a natural outgrowth of our love for Jenny and our appreciation for her. So we hope that you'll join us and that you will be able to remember her and how much she impacted us here on BookTube. And I hope all that makes sense. Okay, so about the readathon, it's to honor her life and read her favorite books, to listen to her favorite music, and learn about her favorite historical figures. That's kind of our goal for this readathon. So you can participate by reading anything that Jenny made you curious about. If it's a historical person, you could just read an article about them on Britannica or on Wikipedia, which Jenny loved. Jenny loved Wiki. You could read a book that she made you curious about. You could read like Jenny. You could read a favorite translated work in another translation. That's so Jenny. That's such a Jenny thing to do. You could read something that has a lot of buzz on Instagram or TikTok, because that's something that she also loved to do. She loved to be a part of this community, and I think that's why she touched so many hearts. She participated in readathons all year round, March of the Mammoths, Feb Regency, Victober, Ancients-a-thon, and co-hosted several as well, and Faustathon. So yeah, you can also honor Jenny just by participating in BookTube readathons. So there's a lot of ways that you can honor Jenny. You can also donate to her favorite charity, which I have linked in the description. It was in her this information was in her obituary that her mom put up, I'm assuming. So yeah, we are going to have a Discord thread where we can talk about books that we're reading in honor of Jenny, and that Discord thread will be in Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia's Discord. So I will link her Discord down below, and we are going to have a group read. That's another way you can participate. Our group read is going to be The Villa by Rachel Hawkins, which if you watched her channel, you would know that Jenny was a big fan of the Romantic poets. She was a huge fan of Percy Shelley and Mary Shelley and Lord Byron and even John William Polidori because of the vampire. And she had such a way of making historical figures come to life and get you excited about them. So you can join us to read The Villa. The Villa was one of her favorite books of the last couple years. I can't remember I think it was 2023. It was one of her favorite books. So yeah, I hope you'll join us for that. We're going to discuss that in Tiffany's Discord server. And you can also scroll through her videos and you can read you could read a favorite book. We're going to have a link down below. I believe in the description. Yes, I think it's in the description. We will link some of her favorite books type list videos. And we will also link, if you want to learn about one of her favorite historical characters, we will link a book list of some of her historical videos. So we do have a couple prompts. We have 6 prompts, but they're totally optional. It's just literally for inspiration. I have a feeling you all already know what you're going to want to be reading, and I think a lot of you are already doing this. Like I said, I am also already doing this. So our prompt ideas were read a book from one of Jenny's most read genres or subgenres. So just as an example, obviously historical fiction, romantasy was her most read genre, I believe, of 2023. And poetry, ancient, epic, Victorian, romantic poetry. She was a big fan. Victorian sensation novels or penny dreadfuls. She was bringing the penny dreadful back. She was creating a renaissance of penny dreadfuls on BookTube, which I just love. Historical nonfiction, dark academia. Yeah, those are some examples of some of her favorites, most reads. So another option could be reading anything, absolutely anything Italy related. She was Italy obsessed, and with good reason, and even vlogged. She has so many wonderful Italy vlogs on her channel and videos themed around Italy. So if you're looking for inspiration, you could definitely check out some of her videos about Italy. Read anything Italy related and learn about Italy. You could read about one of Jenny's favorite historical figures. So there's lots of options here as well, as you can imagine. Napoleon, the Sons of Ragnar, Jesus Christ, the Romantic poets, Dante, Emperor Nero, Richard III, the Borgias, Rasputin, etc. There's so many options. Or you could learn about historical events like the Titanic, the Princess in the Tower, the American Revolution, the French Revolution. She's a big fan of revolutions. The Renaissance, any conspiracies or scandals. She's a big fan of those as well. So like I said, we'll link some of her historical videos in the section titled links in our description. And you could also read about Christianity or Catholicism. So as an example, you could read a book of the Bible. Jude was her favorite book, she told me recently, which Jude is very short. I recommend reading the references in Jude to help you understand it. The Bible interprets itself really well if you look at other verses, because the writers of the Bible were often referencing other books of the Bible. So if you just, look at a reference, it will sometimes interpret the book for you. But she loved commentaries, so you could read commentaries along with reading Jude or something like that. And she was also fascinated by Revelation, and I think that was also one of her favorite books. So she told me both specifically those books were some of her favorites, and she was also just totally in love with the person of Jesus Christ. So you can read about him through the Gospels. Luke is a fun one for a history nerd like Jenny because he was so detailed because he was a doctor. So that could be a good option. Luke, John, Matthew, or Mark are the gospel stories. So you could also, to learn more about Christianity or Catholicism, we had conversations before about Paul. And when we first talked about Paul the first time, I remember her saying that he seemed kind of misogynist. But a biography that totally changed her mind about this was Paul by N.T. Wright. It's very historical and based on sources and kind of very plausible, a lot of the things that he talks about. So she recommended that to me and I loved it. It's so good. It's a wonderful, wonderful biography. So highly recommend Paul, a biography by N.T. Wright. Another one that she mentioned really wanting to read in the near future was The Robe by Lloyd C. Douglas, Christian historical fiction. So right up her alley. So that could also be an option for you if you're looking to learn more about the faith. Another prompt that we came up with was read the journals or letters of a favorite classic author. Recently, Jenny had been reading the letters and I believe also the journal of the one who wrote the story about turning into a beetle. I'm drawing a blank right now. But so she did this frequently where she would, I think it was the historian in her, she would always want to read the letters and journals of her favorite authors. And then the last prompt we came up with was read something a K-pop idol recommended or created a song about, because she made multiple videos on this topic. She even had a K-pop journaling channel. And if you followed her on Instagram, she posted pretty much daily about K-pop, and K-pop was a big thing in her life. She really enjoyed it, and getting to know a little bit about it might bring you close to Jenny's interests and make you feel close to her. So it definitely helped us bond. We were friends before either of us were into K-pop, but K-pop gave us something to talk about on an almost daily basis. We could talk about K-pop. So it's really fun. I hope you'll check that out. Maybe I'll link some of her videos about her favorite K-pop idols and reading like them and stuff like that, so you can get some inspiration. But anybody who read anything from EXO or NCT 127 could be a really great option for you. But there is also a lot of female readers that she was reading books that they read and recommended as well. So that reminds me that I want to talk about my TBR a little bit in this video as well. There is a video on Animal Farm by BB, who's a K-pop star, and she mentioned this in a video. I'm not sure if she themed the whole video around it, but maybe she did. Regardless, that's going on my list. I've been meaning to read that. So okay. Next, what else? We're also going to link a YouTube playlist and a Spotify playlist with some of Jenny's favorite K-pop to kind of assist you in learning about it a little bit if you're interested. If you want to listen to the background of Jenny's daily life, I think K-pop would get her through work. It helped her find friends. It gave her something fun to obsess over, obsess. And that was one of her favorite words. So yeah, I filmed a Christmas haul where she sent me a K-pop album, and I just can't post it now. It's because I filmed it before she died, and so I just deleted it. I don't think I can post it, but she sent me some K-pop photo cards of my favorite group, ATEEZ, and she actually introduced me to ATEEZ. So they are a pirate themed K-pop group. All of their music videos tell the story of it's a pirate story. It's like a sci-fi pirate story. And EXO, her old group, also was a sci-fi group. And NCT 127, now that I'm thinking about it, their name means Neoculture Technology. So they're also a sci-fi group. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. We will, like I said, link her. So the YouTube video will have some extra videos because there are some performance videos there. And the Spotify playlist will be just like the music. So, and I specifically linked some of the music videos that she specifically really mentioned to me loving on YouTube. So, another thing we're going to be doing for We Love Jenny Readathon, we are going to be writing letters to Jenny's mom, Pam. I'm going to be sending some physical written letters to her from BookTube friends, but you, everybody watching this video, can also contribute to that binder. I'm going to print out letters from all of you and print them out and put them in a binder and send them to Pam. So if you would like to email me a letter under 500 words about how Jenny touched your heart, touched your life, a favorite memory you have of hers, maybe a favorite video or book that you discovered because of her, anything you would really like to share, you can email that to me and Tiffany at welovejenny2024@gmail.com. So I'll have that linked. I'll have that listed down below so that you can very easily email us your letter. And I just need that sent. I need you to email it to me by the end of February. So, and we will be deleting the account after that point. After we've printed out all the emails and after February ends, we're going to delete the account. So if you want to get that into us, please do that. It's a little bit of a chance for you to write a little bit longer, maybe message about Jenny, 500 words or less, like I said. There are opportunities though, if you want to leave something more directly digitally, you can obviously comment on her channel. You can also leave comments on her obituary. There's been some beautiful comments on there and pictures that people are sharing and stuff like that. So, and I know I've read some of your comments about Jenny and how she affected you. So that's fantastic if you just want to do that. But if you would like me to print out a physical copy, I know that Pam and Jenny were both really into crafting. So I really wanted to send a physical copy of some of the letters to Pam, all organized in one place so that she can craft with them if she'd ever feel like doing that. So yeah, please consider sending that to me. And if you also make any content, if you are a booktuber or an Instagrammer or anywhere on the bookternet and you want to make content for We Love Jenny Readathon, please use the hashtag welovejenny, and we will be putting all of those videos into a playlist, and I'll probably send the link to her mom. So that's another way you can participate. And other info that I wanted you guys to know about, K-Tropathon also will be themed to honor Jennifer Brooks. Actually, I haven't talked to one of my co-hosts yet about this, but I think she'll be fine with it. So I forgot to do that. But yeah, K-Tropathon is in July. It's a celebration of Korean pop culture for the most part. But we're going to be expanding it a little bit into history and literature as well this year. So I hope you'll join us for that. Jenny was on our reading sprints for K-Tropathon this last year, and it was so fun. So, yeah, I think we're going to be doing some other things to try and remember Jenny as well. But I think that's all that you need to know for the announcement portion of this video. So for my TBR, things that I'm going to be hoping to get to, I don't know if I'll get to them all. Originally, we were going to do a play reading live on my channel for Feb Regency, and I was already considering The Cenci by Percy Bysshe Shelley because I knew that Jenny loved it, and I was really interested to read it. I think it's a true crime play. It's about a true crime that happened, and Percy Shelley was writing about it. But now that's definitely the one that I'm going to be reading, and I don't know if we're going to be able to read it live. I'm not sure if I'm ready to read it live. I wasn't able to post sooner about this because I was pretty upset and I really wasn't sure that I could film anything. And then we also were out of the country. We were in the Dominican Republic until yesterday. So this was the first chance that I got to really film a video about this. A couple of you have asked me to please talk about Jenny in videos. So, I talk about Jenny in my videos all the time anyways, because she's just one of my closest friends. So yeah, thank you so much if you're coming here for the first time because of We Love Jenny Readathon, or if you just really love Jenny and you want to be close to people who are close to her. I understand a lot of you are probably really hurting. You're all grieving with us. We're all grieving together. It's such an unexpected and horrible loss. I still don't understand. So, and I know you're all probably feeling the same way. So, other books that I'm looking at reading, Jenny and I were planning to buddy read The Question of Canon I forgot to write down the author of that, but that is actually one that Tiffany, the co-host of this readathon, recommended to me and Jenny, because I told her about a conversation Jenny and I had, where Jenny was really curious about why certain things were included in the canon of scripture and other things weren't. And so this was the one that Tiffany's husband, who is actually a pastor and studied this in school, this is the one he recommended. So it's by Michael J. Kruger. And I actually sent Jenny this book for Christmas. So we were planning to read it in 2024, but I definitely still want to read that. I also wrote down Wilkie Collins because I want to give him another shot. I know he's one of Jenny's absolute favorites, especially of Victorian literature. So yeah, I don't know which one yet, but we'll see. Maybe like a shorter one. We'll see. She also recently recommended to me The Encyclopedia of Fairy by Emily Wilde, so potentially that one. I really want to finish Paul by N.T. Wright. If you know me, you know I'm a pretty slow reader, and I don't always finish things. Sometimes I just enjoy very much what I've read of a book. Even if it's just 30% of a book, I still can enjoy it and even talk about it. So that's just, I've just made peace with that, and that's fine with me, but I really do want to finish Paul by N.T. Wright so that I can include it in one of my favorites of the year lists. Another one, The Double by Dostoevsky, was one of Jenny's favorites by Dostoevsky. It's a shorter, more fantastical story than Dostoevsky's other work. And although he did write some other comedic things, like The Crocodile, I think it's called The Crocodile, she really liked Dostoevsky's short stories quite a lot. And so I'm planning to buddy read this with Tiffany in February. Currently, I'm reading Notes from the Underground with some other friends. So hopefully I'll finish that in January and then be able to move on to The Double in February. Next, Animal Farm, like I mentioned, and the next, The Villa by Rachel Hawkins, which is the group read, like I mentioned. At this time, we haven't scheduled a live show because I'm just not sure if I'm going to be up for that or not, but maybe I will. I would really love to talk with you guys about Jenny. I think it would be really cathartic for us all to be able to talk about her and what we're reading because of her. And I really want to make a place for you guys to be able to do that, but I don't know if I'm really ready to go live yet. So we'll see what happens. I canceled all my live shows for January, but I do have a couple that I'm still thinking about in February. We'll see. I canceled some in February as well. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. So The Little White Horse by G.K. Chesterton is a poem that she recently, on her last live, we talked about, and she said it was one of her favorite poems of all time. And did I say it's by G.K. Chesterton? It's on Gutenberg. It's free on Project Gutenberg, so that could be a really good option if you're wanting something quicker, but something that you really loved. That could be a great poetic option for you, and I definitely want to read that. And two other things that I would love to check out are Bunny or All's Well by Mona Awad. I've been meaning to check her out for a while, and I have holds on her books through the library. So that is it for now. But thank you guys so much again for all of your, did I say this? Condolences. I really appreciate all your condolences and your kind words and anything that you have to say about Jenny. I want to hear it all. I want to hear all of your thoughts about Jenny. I've been trolling all of the comments. Not trolling. I've been scrolling all of the comments that you guys are leaving on her memorial video and stuff like that. And it makes me so happy. I think she's going to be well remembered here on BookTube. And I really appreciate you guys for honoring her. And I love to hear. I'm going to try to respond to comments. I'm not the best at that anyways. But I'm really going to do my best to respond to some comments from you guys about Jenny. So that's it for now. I'll probably be talking about Jenny a lot in my upcoming videos and probably for the rest of my life on this channel because that's the kind of influence that she was on me, just like she was on so many other people. So, okay, that's it for today. And thank you guys again. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.